I never thought I'd hold a knife to my own throat, but here I am, staring into the bathroom mirror of my sister's McMansion in the hills of Pasadena, the blade's edge kissing the pulse that beats too steady for the chaos I've unleashed. It's not suicide, it's a promise, etched in steel, to the woman whose body I'm wearing like a stolen skin suit. And as the first drop of blood, hers, not mine, wells up, I whisper the words I've rehearsed for years. You took everything from me, Elena. Now watch me take it back. But the real shock? The body swap wasn't some cosmic accident. It was engineered.
By me. For them.
That revelation hit harder than the foster system's revolving door of indifferent caseworkers, each one stamping my file like yesterday's trash. Back when I was Caroline, the forgotten middle child, dumped at 13 so mom and dad could globetrot with their golden girl, Elena. They called it giving her the world. I called it exile. Now, at 35, I've got the house, the career, the life they envy. And they're at my door, suitcases in hand, begging for a room like stray dogs sniffing for scraps. But they don't know the half of it. The secret I've buried deeper than the resentment? Elena didn't just get the trips. She got away with murder.
Mine, figuratively.
There's, if I play this right. The knock came on a Tuesday, right after I'd closed on that waterfront condo in Santa Monica, my reward for clawing up the corporate ladder at a cutthroat LA tech firm, the kind where dreams go to die under fluorescent lights and NDAs thicker than my skin. I'd built walls higher than the Hollywood sign. No family holidays, no birthday cards, just radio silence after they wired me a sorry check for my 18th. But blood's a stubborn stain. When the doorbell chimed, that smug, self-satisfied ding Elena picked out for her place, I froze, coffee mug halfway to my lips. Through the peephole, Mom, peroxide blonde hair frizzing in humidity, Dad slouched beside her with his golf visor pulled low, and Elena, my mirror image if mirrors lied about the good years, all Botox smooth and designer gilt. Caroline, honey? Mom's voice, syrupy as a bad rom-com, seeped through the oak.
We need to talk. It's
family. Family. The word tasted like battery acid. I cracked the door, chain rattling like my nerves. What do you want? Dad shifted, eyes darting to the Porsche in the drive, mine, paid for with overtime that left calluses on my soul. We're between spots, kiddo. Elena's place is full with her new hubby and the Rugrats. Thought maybe.
No.
The word snapped out, sharper than I intended. Elena stepped forward, her smile a weapon honed on European runways and aspen slopes. Come on, Caro. We're blood. You can't just. I can. I slammed the door, heart hammering like a bass drop at Coachella. But as their pleas faded into the SoCal sunset, something cracked inside me. Not forgiveness.
Rage.
The kind that simmers for decades, then boils over into something irreversible. That night, I dug out the old shoebox from the hall closet, the one with the faded Polaroids, the crumpled letters, the yellowed police report I'd swiped from the foster home's files. Elena at 12, grinning gap-toothed on a yacht in Monaco. Me at 13, hollow-eyed in a group photo with 12 strangers in threadbare uniforms. And the report. Suspected arson at family residence. Minor Caroline Hayes assumed responsibility for fire. Sibling Elena cleared due to alibi abroad. They never told me why they believed her lie. I took the fall, juvenile detention, therapy sessions that peeled me raw, a record that shadowed every job app like a ghost. But I knew, deep down, in the marrow where secrets fester, I knew she'd struck the match. To cover what? That's what I'd flown across oceans to forget. Until now. By dawn, I'd made the call. Not to a lawyer, too clean, too American dream. To Dr. Harlan Voss, the disgraced neuroscientist I'd stalked on dark web forums for years. The man who'd peddled consciousness transference to billionaires dodging death, his tech a black market whisper in Silicon Valley basements. I want in, I texted, attaching the wire transfer that drained my savings. Target my sister. Date. Next family dinner. The swap happened on a Thursday, under the guise of reconciliation brunch at Elena's, avocado toast and mimosas masking the venom. Voss's device was a sleek neural rig, disguised as a VR headset for immersive therapy. We synced in the guest room, Elena scoffing at my midlife crisis gadget, Mom clucking about work-life balance, Dad nursing his Bloody Mary in oblivious haze. The hum started low, a vibration in my teeth, then built to a scream only I could hear. Lights out. Wake up gasping in silk sheets that smelled of Chanel No. 5 and regret. I was her. Elena Hayes-Worthington, 33, venture capitalist wife, PDA queen, Instagram saint. Her, hands flexed, nails manicured to perfection, no scars from foster brawls or keyboard calluses. In the mirror, her face, fuller-cheeked, sun-kissed from street Bart's getaways. But my eyes stared back, feral and unbroken. Down the hall, in my old body, Elena flailed awake, voice cracking in my gravelly timbre. What the fuck?
Caro.
I smiled her smile, but mine underneath.
Balcumama, sis.
The first days were a fever dream of adaptation. Elena's body moved like a luxury sedan, smooth, effortless, the kind of grace I'd envied in grainy Skype calls from halfway houses. Her husband, Brock, a hedge fund bro with a jawline sharper than his trades, pecked my cheek that morning, murmuring about board meetings. The kids, twins 5, with Elena's curls and my buried dimples, tugged at my yoga pants, demanding pancakes. I played the part, laughter tinkling like wind chimes, texts firing off to investors about disruptive fintech synergies. But inside, gears ground. This wasn't just revenge. It was reclamation. Elena, trapped in my shell, raged from the basement I'd graciously offered after the brunch fiasco.
This is kidnapping. Assault.
I'll sue you into the ground, she shrieked through the smart lock I'd programmed with Voss's backdoor code. I leaned into the intercom, voice honeyed. Kidnapping?
Nah.
This is karma, L. You lit that fire to hide your little shoplifting spree, remember? Daddy's credit cards maxed on your souvenirs from Paris. I confessed to save the family name. Your family. Silence, then a sob. Mine, twisted through her lips. The secret spilled then in fragments. How she torched the garage to destroy the evidence, how Mom and Dad had coached her alibi, shipping me off to toughen up, while they played expats. Betrayal? It was a goddamn dynasty built on my bones. But Elena wasn't done scheming. By week 2, she'd charmed Brock into visiting me in the basement, whispering of gaslighting, of my breakdown. I caught them on the nanny cam, his hand on her, my shoulder, eyes softening. Panic clawed at my throat. Time to escalate. The controversial call came that night, staring at Elena's vanity mirror, foundation caking the fine lines she'd lashed with lasers. Destroy her from within. I logged into her accounts, passwords as predictable as her privilege. Elena Rules 2020. Emails to her partners, veiled threats about irregularities in the fund, attachments I'd forged with Voss's AI deepfakes showing her skimming client cash. A quick Venmo to her rival VC, anonymous tip on insider trading vibes. By morning, her inbox was a war zone, CC'd to the SEC, whispers rippling through her LinkedIn like poison ivy. Mom and Dad showed up unannounced, faces pinched in that upper-middle-class panic, the kind that comes from canceled Amex points. Elena's in trouble, Caroline. We need to consolidate. Your place has space. I, in her body, served them decaf in the sunroom, watching vultures circle. Space? Like the foster beds you picked for me? Or the opportunities you gave her? Dad blustered, veins bulging under his polo. That was different. You were. Troubled. Troubled. I laughed, Elena's trill cutting like glass. I was 13, covering for your princess. Mom's hand fluttered to her pearls. We protected the family. Protected. The word ignited the fuse. That afternoon, I drove Elena's Tesla to the Pasadena PD, her plates a golden ticket past the desk sergeant. My sister's impersonating me, I said, voice quivering just right. Swapped our lives. It's insane. They humored the delusional twin, but the report filed. fraud, identity theft. Elena's empire cracked wider. The climax brewed at the family intervention, staged in her backyard under string lights that twinkled like false hope. Mom and Dad arrived with a mediator, some soft-spoken shrink from Brentwood. Brock hovered, phone glued to his ear, damage control on Elena's crumbling deals. And Elena, hauled up from the basement in my rumpled jeans, eyes wild, hair matted, a funhouse mirror of our swapped fates. Sit, I commanded, Elena's authority wrapping around me like a cashmere throw. The shrink droned about boundaries, codependency, the American myth of redemption. But I cut through. Let's talk truth. The fire, the lies, the life you stole. Elena lunged, my fists, her rage flailing. You did this. You crazy bitch. Brock pulled her back, but not before Dad's face drained to ash. Fire? What fire? The secret erupted then, Mom's sobs the soundtrack to Elena's unraveling. It was an accident. I didn't mean the cards, the jealousy, I just wanted out, Dad growled, but his eyes were on me, her body, my soul. Caroline? Is that really you? The twist hit like a California quake, no warning, just ruin. Voss's tech wasn't flawless. The neural map glitched under stress, high cortisol like now, and consciousness bled. Flashes, Elena's memories bleeding into mine. The fire? Not shoplifting. Worse. She'd been pregnant. At 15. Dad's business partner, the sleazy developer who'd funded their first Europe jaunt. The garage held the evidence. Clinic receipts, a positive test smeared with panic. She'd burned it to bury the shame, and I'd confessed because Mom whispered it was protecting Elena's future. The family empire, the reputation that greased wheels from Wall Street to Rodeo Drive. But the real reversal? I wasn't innocent. In the Foster haze, rage-fueled, I'd hacked their emails years later, exposed the partner's affair to his board, tanking Dad's deals. It was me who'd seeded the downfall, long before the swap. My revenge had started in shadows, a slow poison. Now, in this body, it looped back. Elena's womb, barren from stress and IVF fails, echoed my own childless years. We'd both lost futures to their sins. Sirens wailed, neighbors, alerted by the shouts. Cops swarmed, Elena pointing at me. She's not me. Arrest her. But the body was hers, the house hers, the life a perfect forgery. They cuffed her, me, dragging the imposter away. Mom clutched Dad, wailing about tabloid scandals.
Brock.
He filed for divorce that night, custody pending, mental health evaluation. I stood amid the chaos, Elena's silk blouse torn, tasting freedom and ash. The swap held for now. Voss promised a reversal code, but why rush? Her world crumbled, mine rebuilt in its ruins. Parents? They slunk back to their Airbnb, disowned by both daughters. Happy ending? For who? I got the house, the kids' trust funds rerouted, a corner office with my name, Caroline Voss, neural innovator, Voss's silent partner. But as I locked the gate, Elena's screams fading into squad car taillights, doubt gnawed. Was this justice, or just another betrayal? The knife from that first night waited in the drawer, a reminder. In America, revenge is the ultimate swap, your soul for their empire. And I'd trade again, wouldn't I? Months blurred into a haze of high-stakes poker, bluffing as Elena while dismantling her from the inside out. The kids adapted quickest, calling me Mommy E with sticky fingers and unconditional love that chipped at my armor. Mornings, I'd pack their organic lunches, kale chips and almond butter, Elena's eco-warrior flex, while scrolling alerts, her fund under FBI probe, partners jumping ship like rats from a Beverly Hills bonfire. Guilt? It flickered, a Los Angeles smog mirage, gone by the first sip of oat milk latte. Brock was the wild card. Post-arrest, he played the wounded husband, lawyering up for annulment but lingering for the children's sake. Nights, he'd slide into bed, her king-sized oasis of Egyptian cotton, his hands mapping territory I didn't own. You seem different, he'd murmur, breath hot against my neck, mistaking my hesitation for passion. I'd arch into it, channeling Elena's performative moan. But inside? Calculation. Each thrust a data point, his passcodes whispered in pillow talk, access to offshore accounts I'd siphon dry. Controversial? Hell yes, seducing my sister's man in her skin. But betrayal begets betrayal, and his was the first crack in their facade. The parents circled back, like vultures scenting carrion. A terse email from Mom. We've sold the condo in Scottsdale. Need a bridge loan. For Elena's legal. Attached, a photo of them at LAX, suitcases monogrammed EH, her initials mocking me. I forwarded it to Voss. Our silent alliance forged in that basement lab, his genius for hire, my grudge the fuel. Trace it, I replied. Turns out, the sale was fiction. They'd pawned heirlooms for bail money, Elena's arraignment looming like a storm front over the Pacific. I met them at a neutral spot, a strip mall IHOP in Glendale, the kind of fluorescent purgatory where dreams flatline over Rudy pies. Dad hunched over his senior discount coffee, Mom's Botox frozen in perpetual surprise. This isn't you, Caroline, she hissed, eyes darting as if the waitress might overhear family Armageddon. Letting your sister rot in county? It's unchristian.
Christian?
I forked into pancakes dripping artificial maple, Elena's refined palate gagging. Like abandoning your daughter to state care so you could sip Aperol spritzes in Positano? Or covering up Elena's abortion like it was a parking ticket. Dad's fork clattered. That was private. Family business. Private. The word ignited flashbacks. Cold tile and juvie, counselors probing like dentists at a root canal. I confessed to arson for her. Ate the blame, so your family business didn't tank. Now it's my turn. Mom's hand, manicured, unlike my worker's claws, reached across the formica. We made mistakes. But blood. Blood. I yanked back. You bled me dry. The check came. I paid with Elena's Amex Black, tipping 20% because fuck small mercies. Outside, under a sky bruised purple by smog, Dad cornered me. You're playing God, girl. This swap, it's unnatural. Demonic. Demonic, I echoed, unlocking the Tesla with a chirp. Says the man who pimped his daughter to a predator for seed money. His face crumpled, confirmation enough. The secret's layers peeled. Not just the pregnancy, but Dad's complicity, trading Elena's silence for deals that built their travel empire. I'd suffered for all of them. Driving back, radio blasting NPR on climate doom. Ironic, given the fire I'd metaphorically lit, I plotted the next move. Elena's trial prep demanded spectacle. I leaked to TMZ. Tech heiress and body swap hoax? Twin terror or identity theft? The post went viral, hashtags like sister swap and family from hell trending from TikTok teens to Fox News fossils. Public opinion split, half cheering the underdog's revenge, the other decrying it as woke vigilantism run amok. Controversial decisions?
Check.
I doxed their old foster contacts, unearthing stories of kids like me, chewed up and spat out. Petition circled, free Elena, or fry her for fraud. Voss called that evening, his voice a gravelly drawl from some off-grid bunker in the Mojave. The Matrix is destabilizing, Caroline. Her neural echoes fighting back, nightmares, blackouts. You feel it. I did. Whispers in Elena's dreams, her wedding vows, the twins' first steps, laced with my venom. Stabilize it, I demanded, or I expose you to the times. He chuckled, dry as desert wind. Patience. The reversal's your ace. Play it at climax. Climax brewed at the pretrial hearing, downtown LA courthouse, a concrete coliseum buzzing with true crime podcasters and rubberneckers. I arrived as Elena, tailored suit, Louboutins clicking like countdowns, flanked by her shark attorney, a silver-haired bulldog named Kessler. In the gallery, Mom and Dad, hollow-eyed, clutching rosaries like life rafts. Elena, in orange jumpsuit straining my old frame, glared from the defense table, her fire banked to embers, but smoldering. The judge, a no-nonsense Latina with a gavel like Thor's hammer, called order. Kessler rose. Your Honor, my client, Elena Hayes Worthington, alleges identity theft by her twin, Caroline Hayes. Medical evidence pending, but... Objection. The DA barked, a crew-cut vet with a vendetta against white-collar wolves. The defendant was apprehended in Ms. Hayes's residence, using her credentials. Fingerprints, biometrics, all matched the accused. Biometrics.
Shit.
Voss's rig-fooled MRIs, not ink on paper. Elena's eyes locked on mine, triumph flickering. She'd lawyered a print test. I stood, voice steady. Your Honor, this is deeper. Abuse.
Cover-ups.
I have documents. I slid the folder across. Police reports, emails, the clinic receipt digitized from ashes. Gasps rippled. Mom fainted into Dad's lap, a Lifetime movie cliché. The judge scanned, brow furrowing. Bail denied. Contempt hearing on these allegations. Pandemonium. Reporters swarmed as we exited, mics thrusting like bayonets. Ms. Worthington, is this revenge porn for the family? Did you swap souls for the spotlight? I pushed through. Elena's poised my shield, but inside?
Cracks.
The blackout hit in the garage. Visions of her pushing the twins on swings. Laughter pure as pre-swap innocence. Was I the monster now? Home. Brock waited with wine and accusations. The kids are asking questions, Elena. About Auntie Caro in jail. What the hell's happening? I poured Merlot, heavy as regret. Truth, Brock. Your wife's a fraud. Always was. He laughed, bitter. And you're the saint? I saw the transfers, $500,000, to some ghost account. If you're her. The slap echoed, his palm on my cheek, Elena's skin blooming red. Controversial? Assault in self-defense, or escalation. I need him. Old Foster reflexes kicking in, then fled to the master bath, locking the door. Dialing Voss. Now. The reversal. But he hesitated. Wait for the trial. Full exposure.
No.
The mirror mocked. Her beauty, my fury. End it. The code transmitted, a pulse through the rig's implant, hidden under her chignon. Agony ripped, neurons firing like faulty fireworks, consciousness yanking back. I collapsed, world inverting. Woke to my body, scarred, sturdy, familiar as sin in the county lockup. Elena, free in hers, smirking from the visitor's glass. Told you, sis. Blood always tells. Twist's knife. She'd hacked Voss mid-swap, using my own dark web trails against me. The reversal? Her trigger, not mine. I'd handed her the win. Jail was a concrete echo of juvie, bunks like stacked regrets, chow that tasted of institutional despair, the endless hum of fluorescent judgment. But this time, no wide-eyed kids staring at cinderblock walls. I was Caroline Hayes, 35 and forged in fire, plotting from a 6x8 cell like a queen in check. Elena's victory lap was short-lived. The feds didn't buy her twin terror spin. With my planted docs as kindling, the probe ignited. Tax evasion, embezzlement, the Worthington Empire, a house of cards in a Santa Ana wind. She visited once, prim in pearls, Brock's ring glinting like a taunt.
Beach caro.
The kids miss their auntie. Her smile, my old one, weaponized, curdled my gut. But Mom and Dad? They're done. Cut us both off after the headlines. Hayes sisters, from foster flop to felony fiasco. I pressed the intercom, voice steady. You think this ends it? Voss has backups. Your prints on the clinic file. Dad's emails greenlighting the cover-up. Her laugh tinkled, brittle. Voss? That quacks in witness protection, courtesy of my retainer. And the family?
They chose me.
Always did. The glass between us fogged with my breath, rage a living thing. Betrayal's depth? Bottomless. But in that orange jumpsuit, something shifted. Not defeat.
Clarity.
The crime I'd shouldered wasn't just arson. It was the original sin of favoritism, Mom's whispers grooming Elena as heir, me as scapegoat. The mistake? Trusting blood over bone-deep truth. Bail hearing came swift, Kessler's motion greased by Elena's dwindling funds. The judge, same steely gaze, eyed me like yesterday's scandal. New evidence. Neural scanned anomalies. Ms. Hayes, you're released pending psych eval. But stay away from the family. Outside, air thick with exhaust and eucalyptus, a black SUV idled. Voss at the wheel, grin crooked under aviators. Told you. Reversals have contingencies. We drove Mojave Ward, his lab a shipping container camouflaged in sand drifts. The glitch was deliberate, he confessed, rigging the scanner. Her hack?
Mine.
Bait to draw out the rot. You played me? Fury boiled, but his shrug disarmed. You paid for results, not ethics. Now, the full dump. Audio of Dad haggling the partner's payoff. Video of Mom coaching Elena's alibi. It's viral bait. I hesitated. Release it, and the empire falls. Elena ruined, parents penniless, me vindicated but villainized. Controversial decision. Burn it all, or bank the blackmail for a quiet empire of my own. Back in LA, the world had spun. TMZ loops, body swap bombshell, Elena's board ousting her in a coup, Brock custody filing with extreme alienation claims. The parents? Holed up in a Van Nuys motel. Mom's socials gone dark, Dad's golf clubs pawned for ramen. I confronted them there, knock echoing like Judgment Day. Mom answered, robe sagging, face a roadmap of Botox fails. Caroline? Oh God. Dad from the shadows, whiskey bottle in fist. Get out.
No.
I stepped in, Voss's drive in my pocket like a loaded gun. We end this. All of it. The motel room reeked of stale smoke and surrender, peeling wallpaper, a Bible on the nightstand gathering dust. Mom collapsed onto the bed, sobs racking. We thought. Elena was the future. You were so angry, always fighting. The fire, we panicked. Panicked. I paced, boots scuffing threadbare carpet. You chose. Ship me to hell so she could play princess. Dad slammed the bottle down. It built everything. The trips, the security for all of us. For her. The words hung, heavy as LA haze. Then the plea. We have nothing left. Elena's suing us for emotional distress. Brock's taking the house. Let us stay with you. Please. The room spun. Their eyes, mirrors of my own, pleading. The hook looped back. Parents at my door, suitcases begging.
But now?
Power flipped. I tossed the drive onto the bed. Play it. Mom fumbled the laptop, Dad's voice booming from tinny speakers. Point 10K to keep quiet, and the girl's yours for the weekend. Elena won't talk. Her gasp choked off the audio. Silence, then Dad's whisper. How?
Voss.
And me. Years of digging. Mom clutched the cross around her neck. Forgive us? Forgiveness. The word soured. That's for churches. This is consequence. I left them there, broken idols in a roadside crypt. Back home. My Santa Monica perch, waves crashing like applause. The decision crystallized. Controversial? Expose the full rot. I hit send. Files to the DA, AP. Even Elena's inbox. By dawn, headlines screamed. Hayes dynasty crumbles. Incest cover-up. Corporate fraud. Elena called from hiding. Burner phone. Voice cracked. You bitch. The twins, they'll know. Let them, I said. Better than lies. The climax? No courtroom blaze, just quiet implosion. Elena pled out, community service, therapy, her VC dreams ash. Parents? Bankrupt, scattering to relatives like autumn leaves. Brock? Relocated to Miami with alimony checks bouncing. Twist's final cut. Voss's scan post-release revealed the bleed permanent. Traces of Elena in me. Her laugh in my throat. Her fears in my dreams. Me and her haunting. We'd swapped more than bodies. Souls scarred. Inseparable now. Happy? In fragments. The kids visited weekends, calling me Annie Cara with wary hugs. Brock's shadow fading. I launched Voss's legit front. Neural therapy for trauma survivors. My story anonymized but fueling the fire. Ending? debatable. Justice or vendetta? I walk Pasadena hills at dusk, her echoes whispering doubts, but the knife stays sheathed. Revenge didn't heal, it hollowed. Yet in the hollow, space grew, for a life unswapped, unbroken. American as apple pie and arsenic, sweet, then lethal. And I'd bake it again. But as sirens wail distant, another family fracturing under spotlights, I wonder, who swapped who? The real revenge? Living with a ghost.